So this is going to be a raw video. So basically, I figured out a way to drive a $650,000 Ferrari SF90 at 19. I want to mention that I am broke and currently in debt, and I still figured out how to do this. So basically, here's what I did, right? So I went into the Ferrari dealership, right? This was like a few days ago, and I basically went in there and said, hey, my dad is interested in buying this car. Now, mind you, there's no father figure. I mean, obviously I have a dad, but obviously my dad's not interested in buying the car. I'm just making up like a made up character to make them believe that there's like someone bigger who's trying to actually buy the car, like an international buyer, right? Anyways, they believe it, right? And I get to actually sit in the car and I start taking like pictures. I actually posted some stuff on my Instagram, so if you do want to check out those photos, just check out my Instagram. So that'll be linked down below in like the link tree. But anyways, basically I get to sit in the car. This car is like, it's a beautiful car. It's a Ferrari, right? Like, it's a nice car. And I'm asking the guy, I'm like, hey, obviously, like I said, this is all made up, right? So like he thinks there's like a rich father who wants to like buy the car, right? And I'm like basically just his son who's just like scouting the place out, right? Basically, this, I basically asked him, I'm like, hey, I think if we could get some test drive footage, that'd be really cool. Now, mind you, I'm still only 19. You know how many 19-year-olds probably walked into that same exact dealership asking that same exact question and got turned down? I figured it out. And basically he was basically saying how like, yeah, we could definitely arrange something like that. And basically I gave him my phone number. Like, this is like after like sat in the car. I gave him my phone number and I said, if anything, my dad's gonna like reach out to you, if he's like interested still in the car or whatever. Now basically, like I said, this father figure, like the rich father figure that I like made up who's like interested in buying the car, does not even exist, right? And pretty much I have like a Google Voice number, right? So basically for this like Google Voice number that I had, I started acting like the rich father. So I got like ChatGPT, and like I had like the ChatGPT, like you know what like AI chats are, right? Like, I'm assuming if you haven't been living under a rock, you probably know what ChatGPT is. But anyways, I load up ChatGPT, right? And I ask it, I'm like, hey, can you play the character of Jean Pierre? So Jean Pierre is basically the rich father. He doesn't actually exist. He lives in Lithuania. Doesn't exist. This is like an international buyer that doesn't even exist, but it's just to like make the story seem real, so they actually let me test drive the car, which I'm going to be doing very soon. But anyways, I go on ChatGPT. I'm like, hey, can you play the role of this father? And basically the first message was like, like what we sent to the actual like guy in the dealership. It was like, hey, I forgot his name, but it was like, hey, the car is nice, I absolutely love it. If anything, could I just get some footage of the car in action? My son Patrick just came in, so you kind of already see what I did there, right? So they're automatically assuming there's like this rich father who's very interested in the car, and I'm like just like the middleman, just doing like the scouting or whatever. And he's actually engaging, it's actually working. I'm not going to go into all the messages. Again, this is going to be like a raw video, so I'm not going to like edit it or anything. Basically we're talking over like the past like 2 weeks, just talking about the car. I'm texting him from my actual number as the son. I'm just texting normally because like the chat GPT responses that is acting like their father is like super professional, right? Like a rich man would text, right? And yeah, like up until this day, I mean, it's been working. And now this coming Tuesday, I'm actually going to be able to drive a Ferrari SF90 Spider at the age of 19 while being broke and in debt. And that's all because I thought of this shit. Most people would have walked into that dealership and would have said, can I just sit in it? And they'd just say no. But I thought of that, I thought of that, but if I make it sound like someone else is trying to buy it, I could definitely sit in the car, possibly even push for a test drive, and it fucking worked, bro. So the moral here is, use your brain. Just because you're not rich or you don't have the resources to do something, it does not mean it's impossible. Because what I did is I got myself in the room regardless. Most people, like I said, I have like negative $25 in my account right now, but I didn't let that stop me. I was like, I'm not gonna let this stop me. And I just thought of all the stuff that I just mentioned to you, and I forced myself in the room no matter what. Like, anyways, I just wanted to like share this story really quickly on here. I am definitely gonna post footage on here when I actually test drive the car. So when that does happen, I'll be posting it on here. So if you guys do want to watch it, I just wanted to like share this really quickly with you guys. But the moral of this video is, there's always a way to get yourself into the room. There's always a way to do something. Don't let your brain tell you, oh, it's impossible, this and that. It's always possible, bro. I wish I could like put the screenshots up on screen of like the text conversations, but like I said, I've been kind of out of an editing software right now, so I don't really have that option, unfortunately, but I did just want to at least talk about this with a raw video. Anyways, I hope you all have a wonderful day. If you do want to see the video of me driving the Ferrari when I do drop that, I highly suggest you subscribe to this channel. Also leave a like so the algorithm suggests it to more people. and I'll see you all in the next video. All right, bye bye.